Diana Braun Woodbury balances being both a painter and a parent. On Wednesdays, she devotes the day to her mother, Rita, helping with any errands that need to be done. Rita is facing a key passage of life. She's about to move into a retirement home. Diana never pressed her to relocate. She never had to.
Well, I've thought it for a couple of years that I thought she would benefit from living in a senior's residence, but like anything else, she needed to come to that idea herself. And then I guess this Christmas she was hospitalized with what we thought were thyroid difficulties.
I went off my medication without telling my doctor my thyroid medication, and my whole body became very weak until I became almost unconscious, and I ended up in the hospital in emergency. And I came out and I needed 24-hour care and then 16-hour care and so on. And my daughter had to run around and arranging a lot of things. And I thought, well, it's just not fair.
So I guess we're ready to see Mr. Logan now.
All right, I'll let him know.
After a couple of visits, the doctor said to me, he called me aside and said, you know what, I've told your mom and I want, and I think you need to know that I think it's time she found another place to live.
What old people really want is to live close to their children, but not with them. They, like all of us, like their independence. One researcher called this intimacy at a distance.
And I do like organic food and things like that, so that's why I like to do a lot of cooking myself.
After trying brief stays at several retirement homes, Rita chose one that fit her needs. Both mother and daughter appreciate Rita's continued independence.
Living on my own just isn't feasible anymore. Not just because I'm disabled, but I'm very lonely. And now I can still make up my own mind where I want to go. At 73, I'm still fairly active in many ways. I can be just as active in the retirement home. And if I don't feel like cooking, I go downstairs and have a meal. I go for exercises and hopefully lose some weight and, get some biceps or something, whatever they call it, or abs or, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm looking forward to a lifestyle change. But I just changed my mind. There's going to be a computer there.
People have to decide for themselves how they will live their lives and what they will do, and I really believe that we're there just to support them. And what will be to a large extent.
They're going to take this out.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave you with a shower from here to here.
As my mother's needs change, this facility will accommodate it. Yes. There's 24-hour nursing care, so if her physical health deteriorates, which I somehow doubt in the long term, she can progress nicely there.
With her new home decided, all that's left for Rita to do is pack.
I don't know, I think I should give these things away. Make your own decisions before the time comes that you have to do it. Then you can invest your money, you could do whatever you want, and you're still in control. And I think most of us hate to give up control over our lives. I have to make up my mind what to give away, what to take, and that's great.
People's homes aren't always suitable for someone who's very disabled. But the decision to place a parent in an institution is the nadir of life for a child. It's a terrible decision. And if the parent is cognitively aware enough to know what's happening, and they don't want to, no one really wants to leave their home. It's a very sad turn of events. So that's a very difficult decision.
2 years ago, Bart Mincenthi faced a psychological low. His mother, suffering from dementia, kept verbally assaulting his father. They were both becoming exhausted. Something had to be done.
What happened the first time you had to actually, take your mom to a hospital against her will?
Well, I took her to the doctor, who tried to convince her that she should go voluntarily, and she refused to. And then he said, well, I don't have any choice. I'll have to call the police. At which point my heart kind of leapt into my throat, and I thought, police? And we sat out in a waiting area for the better part of an hour. And for that hour, my mother was so mad at me. She disowned me about 400,000 times. She got up and actually moved away from me and sat down further down. Whoever came by, she'd say, well, you know, my son's betraying me, and would you take me home? And then the police came. They actually said, no, come with us. And they said, you know what, instead of riding the police car, ride in your son's car and I'll ride with you. So we get to the hospital and in we go, and then we spend 8 hours waiting to be admitted. It was terrible.
In only weeks, doctors had his mother's dementia under control. But this miracle was short-lived, and her illness is returning. Today, without her knowledge, his mom is on the waiting list for a nursing home. Bart is dreading moving day.
It's going to be very painful for everybody. But I'd like to do it in a way that is the least painful for my father, for whom it will be difficult enough as it is, and for my mother, for whom it will be a horribly gut-wrenching experience that will not be understood or put in the right context. And there will be, I'm sure, huge anger and a lot of just raw emotion.
After the break, I'd like to introduce you to some of my family, which is something I rarely do because it's personal. But I would like you to meet my father, Tony, who is a miracle man. These fabulous people are members of my family. That's my son, Jeff, and my sister, Lorna, and my dad, Tony. 2 years ago, my mother died suddenly, and a year later, my dad had a stroke.
But look at you now, eating potato chips and drinking sherry.
Yeah, I know. Who would have thought you'd?
That's right.
You're the miracle man.
That's right.
Go along with your miracle plates.
Man of steel.
The West Nile virus.
Dad loves
on
the
you.
shopping channel, so he's bought me the miracle knives from the shopping channel. He bought Lorna the miracle knives from the shopping channel. He got the total gym. He got the where's that, like, bracelet?
Oh, God. The shopping channel now says, well, hi, Lorna, what can we do for you today?
That's right. I think it's fairly well done.
For you.
Here you go, Dad.
At first, we didn't think Dad was going to make it, but he surprised us all with his strength and his will. Lorna helps Dad out the most, and I have him to dinner as often as I can.
I gotta
Never
tell more
stop talking.
details.
You're lucky to have daughters. You're so lucky to have daughters, even if you think we talk too much.
We're doing the best we can, and I think that that's all anyone should expect of themselves. And you know, we're doing okay.
Hey, Dad.
My parents have always been terrific parents and terrific people, and they are the same as they've always been. They're just in their 90s instead of their 40s or 60s.
Harry, are you ready for coffee? Because it's all set up.
Okay, how's it coming?
Okay, dear.
They make a tremendous contribution to my life and my children's lives, and I hope to my grandchildren's lives.
The spring is setting in.
I'm very lucky.
That's the way it always comes.
You have advice, I mean, when you talk to people, surely like people all our age are going through this and dealing with it to various degrees.
Well, I think you have to do some reading. I really do. I've always believed you have to get into whatever situation, having children, having adult children. You've got to read to know how to handle situations.
Flexibility. Not to be too set on things going a certain way because they can change at a moment's notice. Flexibility is the thing that's really going to save your life.
The lessons are don't wait till the last minute. You know, plan. I think guilt is the lesson. Don't assume the guilt. Give your parents whatever dignity and respect that they need and you're able to give them. Look after yourself and your family and make sure you don't become obsessed because you'll destroy yourself. If you wear yourself down, what good are you to anybody?
What's very important, I think, is don't feel sorry for yourself. Just do what you have to do and carry on.
Soldier on, as you might say. My advice? Ask for help if you need it. There are plenty of resources in the blue pages of your phone books. And if you would like to know more about the subject, you can check out the daytime edition of Balance TV with Dr. Marla Shapiro or our website, balancetv.ca. See you next time.